man, you still are in great shape.
Well, I'm thankful enough that I was able to leave the game healthy. Still maintain my fitness and all those stuff. And, as you get older, you really start to focus more on health and wellness, trying to eat right and exercise and all those things. And so, with that, I'm very thankful that I came out the game healthy.
Damon, look, I'm so happy that you made some time to talk to me, man, because I know you are a very busy person, especially because as we speak this week, coming up, I do believe Thursday, you have something very special that's going to be happening. Like, you haven't had enough great things happen in your career. Something else is coming up. What's going on?
Well, I'm going in and I'm being inducted to the Canada Sports Hall of Fame, and that's Canada's highest sports honor, and so I'm very excited and humbled at the same time that when I first started watching those honor those events, Canada Sports Hall of Fame, I thought it was only you have to be Canadian to actually be qualified to win. Until I seen Warren Moon go in and Mike Pinball Clemens in 2016, and then, in those situations, I guess you just never fathom, like, whatever career you chose, you just don't fathom that you will, or we don't dream about being in the Hall of Fame. We just want to win championships, and so when you get the Hall of Fame nod, it's very humbling.
When did you hear about this?
They announced it in April. They announced it in April, and I'm going in with Dave Keon, the legendary Leaf hockey player. And then there's quite a few other Sandra Crawford, a few Olympians, paralegions, athletes. And so, like I said, it's very humbling, man. It feels really good.
Well, I don't want to keep going over this because, originally you're from San Diego, correct?
Yes, I'm from San Diego, California.
How does it feel, though, being adopted up here in Canada as a Canadian? Because that's how we look at you as one of our own. Mike Pinball Clemens is the exact same thing. Like, we'd hope for the two of you to run for mayor in Toronto one of these days. So how does it feel being so accepted like that?
Man, it is a wonderful feeling. And even when I think about when I first came to Canada, and I was 21 years old, and so more than half my life has actually been in Canada, and so you start to adapt the way of life, and you realize the many blessings that you have from staying here. Because I started staying here after my second year in my career. I started to live in the cities I was playing for, besides how do you enjoy the fullness of a country or city that you're living in unless you have to start staying. And I think I made a decision a long time ago that I was going to start doing that. And then all of a sudden now you look at the years you've been here, you've been in Canada more than the place where you were born.
What was it, though, about your style of football that suited perfectly for the Canadian style of football? Because, the U.S. is, NFL is different. What they do in Europe is different. What we do up here in Canada is different, but it suited you perfectly, especially because of all the records that you broke. Why do you think it gelled so well?
It gelled because of, I think, some aspect. I mean, the game of football is pretty much the same. The rules may be different. And the biggest advantage is the fact that with the size of field, there's a premium of keeping the quarterback contained in the pocket, and I have the ability to run and throw. And it's, and like I said, I can throw in the pocket, I can throw on the run. I was very creative on the football field, and so the style of play in the Canadian Football League, because of the limit of downs, you get 3 downs for 10 yards, and so it's more built on the passing game. And when it's built on the passing game, you have a quarterback that has the ability to keep a play going with your legs. It causes you to buy time. Then that's the ultimate type of quarterback that should be playing in our league, a guy who can run and throw. And those are the guys who can do that and do it well. They have the potential to have a long career.
Well, you definitely did that, my friend. But growing up, though, I mean, what was it like? I mean, there was you and then your brother, Marcus. I mean, what was it like growing up, both of you looking to achieve your dreams and then both of you doing it, you here in Canada and him doing it down in the U.S.?
Well, I think it starts with the foundation, right? How we were taught, how we were raised. And so, like I was saying something on my Facebook yesterday, because I was, in a sense, I was giving my speech in a little bit on Facebook, telling people like I didn't get here alone. And so when you look at the foundation of how you started, my foundation was strong. I had a great supporting cast. I had a great team in my family, my brothers. I was motivated. My tank was always full, that I can believe I can do anything. And so my foundation was always strong. And then, as you grow up and you get involved in team sport, you start to realize that, picking a really good team can help you in life as well. So not only having great friends and not only having great teammates, but also having great competitors and competition that makes you better as well. And so I try to use all those, aspects of and motivation to make me better, right? And so, like I said, I'm all about having good people in your life, right? That it will encourage you, will challenge you, will even, have tough questions for you, and you can learn from as well. And so, throughout my career, I mean, I was able to learn from, everybody who came across my journey, whether they're a coach, a friend, or a mentor, or someone that can guide and lead and those things. And I try to take full advantage of all those stuff.
Well, when we talk about accolades, I mean, there's so many things that we can talk about that you've done. When it comes to, was it 3 or 4 Grey Cups? Thank God you gave it to us here in Toronto on some of those. Also being the all-time professional football passing yardage, I do believe currently second place, even though I still think it should be first place. And back to me, you talk about that. If you remember when you became the all-time leading passer, and the NFL kind of didn't want to recognize that, even though everybody else did. Did that bother you in any way?
No, that don't bother me, man, because like I said, I mean, when I look at my journey, that was my journey. That's the journey that was set out for me. Yes, I wanted to play in the National Football League, but I also love the game of football. And so in my mindset, it didn't matter where I played the game of football. I mean, I was in my element, and I, played with enjoyment and enthusiasm and a dedication to it and a great amount of respect for it. So when I look at, our game and the amount of years, I mean, it's the funny thing is when they always talk about my records, they always talk about, me just the passer, right? And not knowing that, okay, well, no, he was a two-way player. He can run and throw, right?
That's the thing I want to get into too, man, because I think you're third on that all time. Yeah. I think in rushing.
Yeah, and so when they look at only passing, I'm like, well, you're only taking away half of what I was able to do. That's why, I don't go by that record, the second leading passer. That was just one aspect of my game. I'm the all-time combined passing and rushing leader.
That's absolutely true. Absolutely
I'm combined
true.
Passing and rushing, I'm the number one. Right? And that's a record I go by, because you can't, leave out one without the other, right? So, like I said, I had two dynamics that I use in the game, and I wasn't one-dimensional.
I've never, of course, I've only been able to hold that Grey Cup once. You've done it 4 different times. What is it like when you can hold that Grey Cup, not one, two, not 3, but 4 times, have the rings, and the accolades, and knowing what you've done for the cities, winning that championship, especially, which I have to say, Toronto.
Well, my goal was always, whatever team I played on, I wanted to win the championship. And, you know, I was fairly close in some of those teams. I mean, because I took those teams to the playoffs. And even when I played that 1 year in Hamilton, I wanted to go to the Grey Cup, and I took them to the Eastern Final, I mean, with the teams that I had. So, I mean, that was my goal, you know, whenever or every level of football that I played, we wanted to win the championship. And I was able to do that throughout my career, from Pop Warner to high school to college and then the pros. And so every level of football that I did win I won championships. And so that's always my goal. I mean, that goal has never changed about bringing home a championship to the city that you represent.
Well, you kind of mentioned already, and when you said what you put up on Facebook, and I hope people go on your Facebook page to see what you wrote. Are you ready for this, man? Are you ready to stand up there? Are you going to break down and cry? Because there'll be a lot of other people who are going to be crying, but crying for joy for what you've done personally, what you've done for so many people, and what you've been able to achieve to help elevate the game.
Well, you know, like you said, I'm an emotional person, too, as well. So I don't know what's going to happen when I get up there that night. I just know that, and the one thing about winning this, not winning this award, but being thought of with this award of being inducted, it has everything to do with the people that were in my life. I mean, that's what my whole speech is about everybody who was in my life that prepared me to stand in front. So I accept the award on behalf of everyone who's been part of my journey. Whether you've been a coach, a friend, or a teammate, or someone I played against, you know, you all have impacted my life in such a way that it was motivating, inspirational. It pushed me to excellence. You know, like Tiger would say, you know, it pushed me to professional excellence. And that's what I always wanted to try to achieve when I played the game, because I have a great amount of respect for it.
Well, my friend, we have a great amount of respect for you. Thank you for what you've done for the city. Thank you, me personally, for the friendship and the interviews you've been able to do for me in the past and continue to do. And I got to say, man, you are truly an example of an individual achieving his dreams. Much deserved.
I appreciate that, man. Anytime you need me, man, I'm there for you, bro.
Well, look, my friend, I'm looking forward to seeing you get that award. Thank you again. We will catch up soon.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Take care, my friend.
You too.
Bye-bye.